losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Guys, it's a bit cold here. Can you tell? Oh dear, honestly. It's winter here in Australia, in case anyone doesn't know, so it's bloody freezing. It was 2 degrees this morning, Celsius. I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit, but anyway. Hey Pat, how you doing? Cynthia, how you going? John Paul, how you going? Teresa, how you going? David, how you going? Out to lunch, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Deb, how you going? It's not moist today. Yeah, it's not moist here either. It's quite just cold, sunny, dry, very dry. No snow yet. Dan Markle Senior, how you going? Cynthia, beautiful pic there. Oh, thank you. Who else have we got here? Luna, how you going? Void, how you going? Alex, how you going? David, how you going? MJ, how you going? Sherry, how you going? George, how you going? Carl, how you going? Elena, how you going? Okay, who else have we got in here? Okay, so I've got some funny stuff and some not so funny stuff today to go through. So, okay, let me have a look. Oh, Sherry, your daughter's fine. Boyfriend's behind bars. Oh, hey, Flyby Stew, how you going? Nicey Glover, how you going? Jane, how you going? And David, it's moist in the extreme there, is it? Oh, yeah, is it you in Western Australia? Because it is quite, I'm sure it's quite moist there. Okay. Here we go with some news. I'll tell you about my mum in a minute. I've just had a hard week, but let's get into this first. Okay, Rob Phillips, I just picked these up. Actors bashing immigration laws. Put your money where your mouth is. Step up and house immigrants in your $1 million mansions. This was from a while ago, but it's coming back into relevance because I think, I'm not sure if the governor or the mayor of one place in US was going to try and house immigrants in the mansions until he got a bit of kickback by the look of it. Milburn Pennybags, I don't know who this is, but anyway, said Eric Adams is specifically talking about house of these immigrants in the mansions of New York. Here we go. Everything with a Central Park view. Greg Price said Eric Adams suggests housing illegal migrants in private residences in New York. It is my vision to take the next step to this faith-based locales and then move to a private residence. They have spare rooms. Go, the mansions. Because, I don't know, I just wouldn't house anyone I don't know in my house.
We're disciplined and we're executing on it. It is my vision to take the next step to this, to go to the faith-based locales, and then move to private residence. There are residents who are suffering right now because of economic challenges. They have spare rooms, they have locales, and if we can find a way to get over the 30-day rule and other rules that government has in its place, we can take that $4.2 billion, 4.3 even maybe now, that we potentially have to spend, and we can put it back in the pockets of everyday New Yorkers, everyday houses of worship, instead of putting it in the pockets of corporations. And some of those corporations come from outside our city. We should with discipline.
Okay, this is not the one where he said it, but I did hear he was suggesting it, and then he got a bit of kickback and he backed away from it. So, but he's expecting normal people who might need money to house illegal immigrants. Well, I wouldn't. I don't care. I don't care how much money I might need. I'm not going to do it. And why can't all these rich people give out their mansions if they're gunning for this, you know? James Woods said couldn't hurt. And this was way back in 2018. Alec Baldwin, Martin Sheen go on a 24-hour hunger strike for immigrants. Well, why don't they house them? Unless they're virtue signalling. Oh my goodness. Obama's new clothes said, how many illegal immigrants will you house and feed in your mansions, you hypocrite Zuckerberg? And this was from 2017. That's how long this has all been going for. And obviously the tweet was from a suspended account. Master Beef said, I think you missed the part where a community filled with some of the richest people in the country couldn't afford to help, nor had the space to house 50 immigrants in their 50-room mansions. But poor Texans should do it, or pay more taxes so the state can house those migrants. So this has been going on since 2017, probably longer. Well, in the UK it's going on. They're expecting people to house migrants. Why don't the rich do it? They have plenty of rooms. Common Sense says, Dear Obama and Hollywood left. This was 2014. Please feel free to house all the illegal immigrants in the White House in your mansions because you care. Okay, let's get into some recent news. Mark Diamond said jobless Somali refugee family rehoused from $2 million mansion to a $1.3 million semi-detached house. Why are these people getting there? Oh dear. Jobless Somali refugee family rehoused, down about $0.7 million. Yeah, something's going on there. I know I've been saying, why don't the rich house them, and then we come across one. But seriously, this is the treatment they're getting? By the way, do you know refugees, a lot of them go home for a quick holiday. So they're running from something in their country, but they go home for a quick holiday. The UK are such mugs. Truss, like Boris, like Blair, are all WEF puppets. We know that. They're gaslighting us. Well, trying to. Let's give billions to Ukraine. Let's spend billions on hotels for migrants. Let the British starve or freeze. And that's pretty much where we are right now as well, here in Australia. Pamela Geller said New York City Mayor 50 houses of worship will now become shelters for illegals. Wants New Yorkers to open their home to migrants. They have spare rooms. Rest assured, Adams Home isn't hosting migrants. Out of control government taking us down, and New Yorkers pay the highest taxes in the country for this. And that was for the Geller report. What's this? Have a look. I've just been bookmarking things all week when I have been able to... Oh, we've seen that, yep. When I have been able to look at Twitter. So, okay, Nathan 1 hour ago said improvements to the asylum system in the UK are in doubt unless Home Office takes urgent action, watchdog warned. These spineless clowns have had years to get a grip on illegal migrants and to stop the boats and send them back. They are a shambles and a disgrace. Government asylum seekers plans in doubt, admits Home Office. Well, let's make sure, hopefully they do. It's in big doubt. What happened to all the old asylums? Is that bad? Tegan's 1776, Liberals are all for open borders. Now is their chance to step up and house them, open their homes to migrants in New York. Eric Adams is suggesting instead of housing them in hotels that they move to private residence. How many people are going to do that? Would you? Ben Fordham Live said corporate Australia is jumping to support The Voice. If you are in Australia and you are hearing my voice, please say no to The Voice. Not my voice, their voice. Because it'll be the end of Australia, I'm telling you. Top ASX companies are backing the proposal, but they've been issued a fresh warning. Keep business and politics separate. Well, then why are businesses backing the proposal? If they're to keep business and politics separate. Australians have had a gutful of being preached to by big corporations. Yep, Ben Fordham Live, 2GB Sydney. It's a radio station. Just Me said time to turn off power to all Parliament houses across Australia. If we can't afford to warm ourselves on the machinations of globalist sellout politicians, let's see how they like it. We are paying for their comforts after all. Can we start a petition? Let's see how they love their own medicine. This is people in Australia right now. The elderly can't afford to turn their heaters on. Councils get 100 million to fund net zero goals, while Aussies get told to turn their heaters off by experts to save money. Clown world. Let's have a look at this. New Community Energy Upgrades Fund will help local councils upgrade the... Look, local councils get enough as it is. They don't do anything with the money. Our roads are absolute here in Australia. Even the freeway, where you do 110 kilometres an hour down the freeway, God help you if you hit those, there's grooves in the road now, which can actually steer your car if you're not careful for you. And no one's fixing any. But they're building new roads, but they're not fixing the ones we've got. Makes sense? Really? Oh, Jack Pozo said, Penn State professor arrested for having relations with his dog, begged officers to kill him. Oh my God, what do I have to do to get you to shoot me? I need a dog. Oh, do I want to read this? That's cruelty to animals. Animals cannot consent. Do not do this to an animal, for God's sake. Yeah, he should be, well, death penalty, maybe. A now former Pennsylvania State University professor, so anyone who looks up to university professors all over the place, beware. He's accused of performing sexual acts with his dog in a public forest. Told investigators executing a search warrant at his home, I'm done, I'm dead. You don't understand, I do it to blow off steam. Well, holy shit. I never, ever, ever considered doing anything like that to blow off steam, have you? Have a cone. I don't know. Go for a walk. And then asked officers to shoot him, telling them, I need to die. 64-year-old Themis Matsukas was spotted on a trail cams in North Rock State Forest, naked, performing acts with his collie as early as 2014, with the latest incident taking place this year. Excuse me while I just throw up. He was arrested on Tuesday and hit with a slew of charges, including open lewdness, indecent exposure, sexual intercourse with an animal, animal cruelty and disorderly conduct. According to the criminal complaint obtained by WKBN, Matsukas was nervous when officers arrived at his home and said, I'm done, I'm dead, you don't understand. I do it to blow off steam. He also told officers, what do I have to do to get you to shoot me? I need to die, according to the documents. The The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resource Rangers launched an investigation in April after a trail cam set up in the park captured footage of a man engaging in lewd behaviour with a collie near a restroom in the parking area and was attempting to film it on an iPad. What's the bet this guy's being blackmailed as well? I don't know if anyone's ever looked at the dark web or what these people do, but what they do is to be part of a certain group of people, which none of us would want to be a part of, they have to partake in an act and video it and put it up. They all have to. This is what I've heard. I don't know for sure, but from what I've heard, this is what they have to do to stay in the group. Otherwise, they can get outed. They can get kicked out of the group. I don't know why they'd want to be in one in the first place. It's just sick. What has happened to humanity? Park rangers said the area is within viewing distance of a road used by visitors to access a picnic area and campgrounds. God help if a child walked past. Like, let alone one of us, but I mean a child. Can you imagine it? That a child saw something like that? Matsukas was identified by his Subaru when he returned to the same area in May, and the car matched the vehicle spotted in previous videos. Trail cam footage from as early as 2014 showed him walking around camp naked from the waist down with his dog wearing a black ski mask and carrying an iPad. And the black ski mask is also well known in circles of really bad things. When they're doing really bad things, a lot of them do wear black ski masks, so they can't be identified on camera. According to WTAJ, in one of the videos, Matsukas was allegedly seen leaving a restroom naked with a dog before masturbating and Oh, I can't read that. I'm not reading that bit. Okay, you can read it. I will not read that. While he filmed various angles using his iPad. No, I can't. I don't think I can. No, I can't. He's arrested anyway. A 30-year-old veteran chemical engineering professor has been relieved of his responsibilities. Well, he needs to be arrested and possibly, look, honestly, death penalty. I can't see anyone rehabilitating from that. What is in your mind to do that in the first place? The Gateway pundit said US Director of National Intelligence to declassify all information on COVID-19 origins, I was going to say oranges, by Sunday as required by law. Here it comes, guys. The storm is coming. It's well and truly coming. And you can see by all the other things that happened this week, like a drag performer at the White House who got their chest out. Well, they've had the surgery. And look, there is a difference between men and women. Men may be able to walk around shirtless, but women can't, okay? And there's a reason for that. Anyway, so once you try and transition to a woman, you should not be getting those puppies out at all. Tuck them away and cover them up a bit, you know? Not Jerome Powell said monopoly is illegal in the US. BlackRock, owned by BlackRock. All of these companies, but yet a monopoly is illegal in the US. Look, the military is going to be called in if the courts won't do what they're supposed to do. If the authorities won't do what they're supposed to do, guaranteed, the military is going to have to come in to do it for them. And readers added context they thought people might want to... I got one of these under one of my posts, right? And it was a guy linking his Twitter post that had no proof. It just said, all these people thinking this, blah, 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 blah. So it said, was it helpful? And I rated it. Very low score. Okay, is there a thread here? No, just hit the subscribe button. DC Drano said YouTube has suspended Real Candace O's channel. Well, at least I'm going down with some of the biggest names. YouTube's two biggest shareholders are Vanguard and BlackRock. There is no coincidence. These two companies are truly evil and must be confronted head on. They cannot force behind the scenes what the American people reject at the ballot box. Also, with YouTube. Anyway, I've got something to say about YouTube. Candace Owens said, it's true, my YouTube account's been suspended and here's what I have to say. We don't know exactly what or who is the driving force behind globally sanctioned lies, but what we do know is that over the past 5 years, the prevailing lies of the day have shifted dramatically. It was BLM in 2020 when the corporations, governments and Hollywood were in lockstep flying blacklist flags and encouraging people to donate their money as a penance for the sin of being born white. Then the lie switched rather dramatically to the coof. People were encouraged to mask up, avoid their family members, roll up their sleeves and submit to a safe and effective jab via a globally sponsored lie that it would protect them from getting a virus. Of course, both these tremendous lies fell apart with time. The corporation of BLM was revealed to be fraudulent, siphoning money away from well-meaning citizens in order to enrich, not black Americans of course, but various transgendered causes such as well as the BLM founders' close circle of family and friends, which we know. Today, the new and perhaps most insidious globally agreed upon lie is that individuals can choose or magically switch their genders. Why is this lie the most insidious, other than its frightful illumination of Western idiocy? It's the most insidious because it targets children specifically. It needs reminding there exists no world and certainly no cultural moment in which I become a buck that can be broken. Just as with the previous globally sanctioned lies, I will in no way submit to it. Like in the previous globally perpetuated circumstances, me and those who stand against it will be maimed and caricatured in the media. And then just like in those previous circumstances, the few of us with the courage to stand against the tides of pop fiction, I'd say poop fiction, will be vindicated. Because in the end, truth wins. Until then, Jeremy Boring said, this is a 1 out of 14 thread. Over the last few months, Real Daily Wire has received 200 violations from YouTube across our accounts for Matt Walsh Blog, Ben Shapiro, Real Candace O, Michael Knowles, Jordan B. Peterson, Andrew Clavin and Brett Cooper. Almost all are over coverage of the Alphabet Society. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. Now, YouTube, I checked my AdSense because from the last month, which was when Eyes to See donated all that money, nothing has shown up. I don't know if I'm going to get that last amount of money or not from YouTube, but we'll find out in the next few days. Anyway, if not, and I will update you on that, if not, I would advise people to contact YouTube to get their money back. Anyone who donated last month. So Mick said agreed 100%. The storm is coming. Vote no, unite Australia and the world. The storm's coming worldwide, but Liz said, surely we don't want to put Australia in this man's hands. Vote no, 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 and no. Noel Pearson saying he'd wrangled more than $550 million for failed programs in dysfunctional communities. And Angry Aussie said everyone must remember the rorting at splurge billions on themselves, the voice will be the same. So if you don't want the government to take all your money and raise your taxes and take even more, say no. Jack Pozo said $10 million mysteriously appeared on Joe Biden's 2017 tax return. Mysteriously. Wow. And they found out this week with paperwork released by the FBI, I think, that Joe Biden was paid $10 million. Blackmail, not blackmail, I believe it's, oh yeah, it is blackmail. To do whatever, well, I don't know, I think Zelensky's running the US government right now. No, it just looks that way. DC Drano said unsealed report reveals GA's vote. Okay, certain machines can be played with. Other things can be changed and results can be altered countrywide through one of these things, okay? SOS Raffensperger hid the report and will not install security patches until after next election. You should go paper. Dear Georgia, this is your most important fight between now and November 2024. You need to file emergency court orders to force Raffensperger to install these security patch fixes before 2024. And what's the guarantee he's going to do that? You need to go back to paper ballots and counting them. Don't let the machines have them. Oh, think about AI. Would you really trust AI doing anything either? Not that AI did it. We know that even Bill Gates was sitting there just approving, hitting the enter button. From ABC University of Michigan Computer Science, J.X. Holderman spent 12 weeks examining the ImageCast X machines using statewide in Georgia and by at least some voters in more than a dozen other states. His report was filed with the court and kept under seal for nearly 2 years. A redacted version was made public Wednesday. No grand conspiracies would be necessary to commit a large-scale fraud, but rather only moderate technical skills of the kind that attackers who are likely to target Georgia's selections already possess, the report says. Even if no attack happens, Holderman wrote, the existence of vulnerabilities is all but certain to be exploited by partisan actors to suppress participation and cast doubt on the legitimacy of the results. So there's that. Okay, back. Rukshan Fernando said John Pesutto is a train wreck of an opposition leader here in Australia. What he did to defame Moira Deeming and the other woman that attended women's rights rally is unforgivable. It's good that finally parts of the Liberal Party are standing up to him. As the peak women's body of the Liberal Party of Australia, the Federal Women's Committee is concerned by the actions of Victorian opposition leader John Pesutto MP and the actions taken by some members of the Liberal Victorian parliamentary team. The expulsion of Moira Deeming, MLC, was without basis. Women have a right to participate in the political process without fear of cancellation. The silencing of women has no place in the Liberal Party, so they were doing pretty much what the Labor Party were doing, probably bullying people. Liberal women demand dumped MP Moira Deeming to be reinstated. And that would be a good idea. She's standing for women's rights against the alphabet community. Alphabet society. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. Proud Elephant said breaking US security officials have zeroed in on Ukrainian state actor accused of paying bribe to Joe Biden, who turns out to be an asset for Russia counterintelligence forces. If Joe Biden were a Republican, he'd been in prison a long time ago. That's what I mean. If these judges and prosecutors and things won't hold these people accountable, the military will come in and do it. Pauline Hanson said we all know why Labor, the Greens, the Crossbench and Labor Light Liberals have refused to support my inquiry into legislation designed to tighten up the definition of Aboriginality. Their ideology precludes questioning claims of anyone who, in their twisted view, can claim to be a victim. Labor doesn't care that many Indigenous Australians are appalled at non-Indigenous people getting a share of the money intended for them through deceptive means. In other words, people who aren't Aboriginal are claiming to be Aboriginal to get extra money. Labor doesn't care that this risks the goodwill of the Australian people who are always willing to help their fellow Aussies in need. Labor ignores some damning statistical evidence in the census. The number of people claiming Aboriginality since 1971 has risen 700%, and between 2016 and 2021, the number of people claiming Aboriginality rose 25%, while the national population rose only 8%, including immigration. Australia needs a proper definition of an Indigenous Australian, especially before Albanese race-based Canberra Voice is voted on. That's what my legislation will do. So Pauline just wants to introduce the legislation to make sure people who claim they're Aboriginal are actually Aboriginal. Sounds fine to me. Who knows? See, these people won't do what they're supposed to do. Eventually the military will be called in and there will be military tribunals. Jennifer Thetford Kay said, my husband did not marry, and now they're trying to change it, women to non-men, okay? They want to name women non-men. Is there a brick wall nearby I can just hit my head on? It feels like I'm doing that every day. Okay, my husband did not marry a non-man. My lesbian friends did not marry non-men. My female friends are not non-men. We are women, plural for woman. Woman, a human, adult, human, female. Man, no definition needed. Non-man, formerly known as woman, a being definable only by reference to the male, an absence, a vacuum, where there is no manness. This is just getting ridiculous. Jeez. Well, would you look at that? Who would have possibly guessed it was a man appropriating womanhood that wanted to erase women? No one was shocked. And the alphabet people said a trans-identifying man... Oh, this LGB, sorry. No, this is not the alphabet people. This is only part of it who's against it, I believe. One of these alphabet people, a man named Paula M. Nera, approved the change in the definition of a lesbian in the glossary of John Hopkins. Trans-identifying men have been actively harassing lesbians, vandalising and forcing into female-only groups and spaces. How did we know it was going to be one of them? Oh dear. Libs of TikTok said the media wants you to believe that a right-wing terrorist sent bomb threats to Target. No, it was because Target either hid or pulled the alphabet stuff, that the alphabet people rang up and started making threats. It wasn't right-wing at all. The bomb threats actually came from the alphabet activist who was upset that Target removed some of the items. You would never know that from the headlines, though. Because this, bomb threats made against Target's store in Utah, Ohio and Pennsylvania over Pride controversy. Target stores see more bomb threats over Pride merchandise. Yep, so they don't define who's doing what. Ben Shapiro said the media are hot effing garbage. Yep, they are. Tom Lucre said I can't say that word. I got these people mad. He's talking about Joe Biden, mind you. He's calling him an N-word, okay? Because apparently they blocked him. Oh dear. He got them mad. Your favourite US Twitter troll strikes again. Good on him. Gunther Eagleman said while Trump pleads not guilty, Joe Biden sneaks another $325 million of taxpayer money to Ukraine. You can't make this shit up. Can't make it up, but yet you did? Really? Oh, the tweet was removed. Tessie G said a $150 million battery erected on the old Hazelwood power station site will power 75,000 homes for 1 hour. This is not an achievement, because 7 News in Melbourne said a new big battery at the site of Hazelwood power stations being touted as the future of Victoria's green energy transition. But the $150 million facility will only be able to power 75,000 homes for 1 hour. So they tear down a perfectly good power station, and instead of improving on that power station, fixing it up, they put a $150 million battery on it. And it won't do the job. Oh my God, give me patience. Nick Holt, 1 of 15. The Biden administration has just unequivocally crossed the point of no return, brandishing the justice system as a weapon in an audacious attempt to obstruct Donald Trump's return to the presidency in 2024. The ramifications of this indictment are not to be underestimated. By singling out a candidate who commands substantial public support, this assault raises legitimate concerns about the spectre of protests and civil unrest and a free and fair election. One would think that bipartisan condemnation would take precedence, thereby demonstrating an unwavering commitment to upholding the bedrock principles enshrined in the Constitution. However, we possess a comprehensive understanding of the reasons why such an outcome is implausible. Trump continues to forcefully rebuke these meticulously orchestrated onslaughts. By unmasking the parallels between prior assaults on his presidency and ongoing efforts to undermine his potential candidacy, Trump casts light upon a broader agenda of manipulating the justice system for political gain. One exemplar Trump evokes is the Mueller investigation, a 2-year probe that ultimately failed to unearth any evidence of collusion. Exposing the origins of this inquiry shines a spotlight on the motivations propelling it. Trump's concerns extend beyond personal vindication. They encompass profound ramifications for the nation at large. He underscores the remarkable achievements of his administration, spanning from energy independence to a robust military and substantial tax and regulatory cuts. Instead of building upon these accomplishments, Trump bemoans the DNC's fixation on groundless indictments and divisive tactics, engineered to undermine his stature and impede the nation's progress. The implications of this predicament, I said that right, are anything but inconsequential. Alleged manipulation of the justice system by his adversaries poses a direct threat to America's democratic principles. It erodes public trust, What the freak happened there? Oh my God. It erodes public trust, undermines the integrity of our electoral process, and imperils the very fabric of American civil life. Weaponizing institutions like the Justice Department and the FBI risks tearing the nation asunder and diverting attention from pressing challenges that demand our collective focus. In the face of these formidable challenges, Trump exhibits resolute determination to fight back, as he's done throughout the past 7 years. And he will. Even Trump said something about the seal they broke the seal. Interesting words. Nick Holt again, the ABC in Australia. Inquiry into Canberra abortion access scathing of Catholic-run hospitals because they don't want to do it. An inquiry into Canberra abortion access recommends the ACT government crack down on Calvary Public Hospital's refusal to offer sweet. Okay, here's another thread by Nick Holt. Let us embark on a transformative journey to the cavalry, where the rise of Katie Gallagher unravels the tapestry of her enigmatic existence, revealing the profound truths that lie beneath the surface of her lies. 2001, Gallagher elected to the Australian Capital Territory Legislative Assembly from Molonglo. Never heard of it. August 2009, ACT government reached principal deal to buy Calvary Hospital, Canberra. Calvary Hospital, is that the same one that was the Catholic hospital? 30th of October 2009, Cardinal George Pell says proposed ACT government purchase of Calvary Hospital is anti-Christian. 2010, Catholic Church, owner of Calvary Hospital, withdraw deal with ACT government for purchase of its Calvary Hospital, Canberra. August 2010, Katie Gallagher offers 4 options to the ACT government for purchase of the Calvary Hospital, all rejected. 23rd of September 2014, Gallagher resigns from ACT Parliament, becomes Senator for the Australian Capital Territory. 25th of March 2015, Gallagher replaces Katie Lundy for ACT in Federal Senate Chamber. 9th of May 2018, Katie Gallagher, 2016 federal election ruled void. 9th of the 5th, 2018, under Section 44 of the Constitution. 20th of June 2018, Katie Gallagher gets a job at the Calvary Hospital in Canberra. May 2019, Katie Gallagher re-elected to Federal Senate. 12th of May 2023, ACT government trying to buy Calvary Hospital for $77 million. What is going on now? Seriously. Twitter, what is going on? Oh my goodness. Okay. 30th of May 2023, ACT government try to compulsory acquire Calvary Hospital, Canberra. 31st of May, protest in Canberra about the takeover of Calvary Hospital. 9th of June 2023, Calvary Hospital launched Supreme Court bid to stop ACT government purchase of the hospital. Because if the ACT government get their hold on that hospital, it's gone. like the rest of the hospitals they run. Massive waits for anyone requiring surgery, and just overall pretty bad service. Rukshan Fernando said, when did Pakistan become an Australian state? Green Senator asks IMF to cancel Pakistan's debt. Senator for New South Wales and member of the Greens, Marine Faruqi, asked the IMF to cancel Pakistan's debt during Australian Senate session in Canberra. And she goes on, and it's ridiculous. Here we go. Let's have a look, a listen.
Pakistan is experiencing some of the most intense political, economic, and climate turmoil it has seen in decades. The nation is caught in a debt spiral, and the economy is in nosedive. Pakistan has billions in debt from overseas governments and institutions, and inflation is at record highs. Cost of living is rising, and people are struggling like never before. Pakistan desperately needs IMF funds to avoid defaulting on its soaring debt. The shackles of debt have crippled countries like Pakistan for far too long, and it's high time to cancel debt for the global south. The extent of Pakistan's debt means social services are being neglected at a time when the country is still reeling from the catastrophic climate-induced floods, which last year killed more than 1,700 people. Pakistan is experiencing...
Sorry, guys. They're not climate-induced floods. They happen. And the rest of us are pretty much facing the same thing. So why don't the IMF just release all of our debt?
Induced floods, which last year killed more than 1,700 people, a third of them children, and impacted and displaced millions. The floods caused more than $30 billion in damage. Terrifyingly, this year's monsoon season is off to a foreboding start, with Cyclone Biparjoy set to make land.
Monsoon season. Every year, monsoon season, okay? And plus they can play with the weather, so don't trust the government.
Fall shortly. Amongst all this, Pakistan has been facing growing political instability triggered by the former Prime Minister Imran Khan's removal from office in April last year. There have been terrible stories of arrests, torture, and pressure put on party figures. Human rights groups are concerned about extrajudicial disappearances. The media has reported police brutality and repression. The crackdowns on media and dissent have been extensive. The growing reports of violence are deeply concerning, and violators of human rights must be held accountable. Democracy and human rights must be protected. Having grown up in Lahore...
This is an Australian Parliament. Why isn't she saying this about Australians? We're facing the same kind of things.
And hearing about the current situation in turmoil from family every day is really distressing. And I express my solidarity with the people of Pakistan and the diaspora here.
I don't know. I don't think some of these people should not be allowed in our government. Like this person said, Lalith. Okay, I'll just call her Lalith. Why is Pakistan all of a sudden our problem for discussion in our parliament? Why not Sri Lanka or Thailand? Our MP should be sorting out our problems, and we have plenty. She needs to decide which country she wants to live in. Was Pauline right after all? Yes, she bloody well was. Now, half the things that lady
Pakistan
said are also happening in the USA, Canada, Australia, the UK. We're all having disasters. And by the way, those Canada fires, guys. In Australia, back in 2014-13, our army started a fire in the middle of summer by setting off I think they called it unexploded ordnance. And they let them off at the worst time possible, which started a massive bushfire which killed people and destroyed heaps of homes. Then in 2020, we found out that climate change extremists were starting fires when we just had our recent big fires here in Australia. I can nearly guarantee you're going to have the same thing. You're going to find out it's either climate extremists trying to make people believe that the bushfires are from climate change when they've been deliberately lit, or maybe even like Australia, your army was helping. And that's, yeah, we've seen that, sorry. Just making sure. Liz Crokin said, breaking. Trump says Hillary Clinton set up an illegal and private server in a basement so she could hide her pay-for-play scandal or whatever, and some of the classified information stored on her server leaked onto Anthony Weiner's laptop. You don't want to be on his computer, Trump said. What was found on Weiner's computer? Evidence that Clinton and associates were involved in crimes against children. That's why you don't want to be on his computer. Weiner laptop, make a trend. Okay, and I'll just retweet that. Billboard Chris said we're going to stop child transition in Canada. Leave the kids alone. Children cannot consent to things. Okay? So there's also that. In Canada, go, like seriously, I hope they do well. The largest protest against this in Canada history took place in Ottawa on Friday and thousands of people attended. Is there a thread? If you wish to support, okay, yep. If you wish to support, you can donate. Cat A said the toughest question Peter McCulloch MD has had to face is why many people don't seem to suffer any adverse effects from the jabbies. Now the peer-reviewed literature confirms the batch variability problem amongst 3 groups. The first batch is like saline with no side effects. The second, mostly moderate side effects. Only the third group, so people who had 1, 2 or 3, accounting for 4.2% of vials showed serious side effects through the roof. The estimate is that 15% have been injured as a result of these bad batches. Or do they mean 1, 2 and 3? That's how I took it. The first one was like saline with none. The second, mostly moderate. And the third, I don't know. I'd check that. But anyway, let's have a little... Am I allowed to play this?
So to summarize, there are 4 domains of injury: cardiovascular, neurologic, thrombotic, and immunologic. The hardest question I've faced so far in all of my appearances in the media, and I've probably given more media appearances now than any public figure in the world on COVID-19. The question came from Joe Rogan on his podcast in 2021. He said, Dr. McCullough, if these vaccines are so bad, why doesn't everybody have a side effect and are damaged after the vaccines? I didn't have the answer at that time, but I have it now. A paper by Schmeling and colleagues from Denmark has clearly shown that the batches of vaccines that come out, the lots groupings, are not the same. They had all the Pfizer data administered in Denmark, and they had every side effect. They found 3 risk groups of batches. The first batch, which was about a third of people who got the vaccine, 0 side effects, nothing whatsoever. It's like taking a shot of saline, nothing. The second group, which is about 2/3, had some moderate side effects, but the rate of serious side effects was pretty low. Then there's a third group, which is 4.2% of everybody of the vials, their side effect rate was through the roof. When they did what's called an R-squared analysis, that is how much of the variation in side effects is explained by this batch-to-batch variability, the answer was 75% plus. That means we have a product manufacturing problem. Either the vials, these files, and unfortunately, these 2 ladies almost certainly received a bad batch. And these vials either have hyperconcentrated lipid nanoparticles and excessive amounts of messenger RNA. And in the United States, 94% of people who took a shot took messenger RNA, so we can stay on that technology. The other possibilities is that it could be contaminated with what's called cDNA or plasmids or other contaminants.
Other contaminants? Like, what were they doing? Trying to kill people, that's what they were doing. It's obvious. Yeah, my mum had a few and my dad had a few. Anyway, what I will do is I'm going to retweet this. So anyone who's interested, if you follow me on Twitter at Hev's Back, mate, yeah, you'll see that. You can see the whole thing. The missus. This is what we call people in Australia, the wife. We call her the missus. In case you haven't heard, charges were dropped against this man preaching at a Pride event. They've stated this could open up a lawsuit for the police department. He went to a Pride event with a sign. Where's this at? The Lancaster Patriot. Okay, charges dropped against Pennsylvania man. Oh, there you go, in the US. Arrested for public preaching. He was just preaching the Bible. Jesus said, go and sin no more. And pride comes before the fall. So get ready. Okay, Patriots win. I was replying to Elon Musk saying Hillary's emails, Department of Justice, blind, okay, they don't see anything. It's nothing to see here. Biden's garage, nothing to see here. They're blind, they can't see it. Trump's documents, yep, they got the biggest telescope they can on it. I thought it was quite good, that. Bart Simpson. Grums said a delivery driver for Amazon misheard an automated doorbell for racism and reported it. Nobody was home. Amazon turned off all the lights, shut down the entire smart home before it even started its investigation. Law enforcement via corporation with no due process. We didn't elect these companies, nor do we have a say in the laws they arbitrarily pen. But we handed them control over our lives. We're trading freedom for shiny beads and trinkets. Amazon accuses customer of racism and shuts... My God. Their smart house. This is why you don't want a smart house. Smart locks, smart anything. And Amazon running it, for God's sake. Don't do that. Hang on. Yeah, the delivery driver for Amazon misheard an automated doorbell for racism. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me, but anyway. Aaron Siberium said new from S&P Global to the London Stock Exchange, tobacco companies are crushing Tesla in the ESG ratings. How could cigarette, which kill over 8 million people a year, be deemed a more ethical investment than electric cars? One answer, tobacco's gone woke. Oh no. I thought there was a thread. Oh, yep, there is. Oh, Hev. Oh, dear. Open your eyes, woman. S&P Global gives Elon Musk's car company an ESG score of 37 out of 100. It gives Philip Morris, the maker of Marlboro cigarettes, an ESG score of 84. Sustainalytics, another ESG rating, gives Tesla a worse score than Altria, one of the largest tobacco producers in the world. And the London Stock Exchange gives British American Tobacco an ESG score of 94, the third highest of any company on the exchange's top share index, while Tesla earns a middling 65. Why is this happening? It may have something to do with big tobacco's corporate progressivism. Companies like Altria have gone out of their way to emphasise the diversity of their corporate boards and the breadth of their social justice initiatives, from funding minority businesses to promoting trans women in sports. But Tesla, whose executives are overwhelmingly white men, has resisted that bandwagon, going so far as to fire its top alphabet diversity officer last year. The S in ESG typically includes diversity programs. Philip Morris International, which in 2021 advertised a partnership with African data scientists, got a social score of 84 from S&P Global. Tesla got a measly 20. The contrast highlights the hazards of a movement that lumps pressing health and environmental issues in with ideological fads. Early ESG efforts were laser-focused on sin stocks, companies whose core business was deemed immoral, including tobacco. But as ESG investing has ballooned, so has the number of variables used in its ESG ratings, which now encompass everything from labour practices and carbon pledges to diversity trainings and human rights. That has created countless opportunities to game the system, experts say, and lets even the most sordid companies score points and investors by towing the progressive line. ESG company ratings often measure abstract woke goals that have no rational connection to companies' actual businesses. said Boyd & Gray and Associates Managing Partner Jonathan Berry, who sued NASDAQ last year over its diversity requirements for corporate boards. Companies score points mainly by demonstrating their compliance with the latest dogmas issued by the DEI complex. Cigarettes are the leading cause of preventable death in the United States, killing more people than alcohol, illegal drugs and car accidents combined. And their supply chain involves a litany of environmental sins. The industry's carbon footprint is substantial, and even e-cigarettes, marketed as less harmful alternative to tobacco, can result in serious pollution because they don't biodegrade. Tobacco farming, which mostly takes place in developing countries, causes deforestation and soil erosion. Tobacco workers are exposed to toxic chemicals, including high doses of nicotine, which can lead to hospitalisation. But ESG ratings often mask those effects. Some scores, including S&P Global's, say in fine print that they are sector specific, which means companies are held to different standards depending on their industry. An unusually green tobacco giant could score better than an electric car maker with an all-male board, and corporations can earn points merely by setting water reduction targets or using diverse suppliers. That may be why Philip Morris International, in its 2022 ESG report, bragged about empowering female tobacco farmers. Just makes you want to cough just reading about it. Women involved in tobacco farming often face structural and cultural barriers, the report explained. Globally, less than 15% of agricultural land is owned by women. This sort of rhetoric permeates Big Tobacco's ESG reports, documents aimed at investors seeking an ethical portfolio. Imperial brands tout trainings on microaggressions and a 40% female board. Philip Morris International and British American Tobacco promote their scores on Bloomberg's Gender Equality Index. Tesla doesn't participate, which uses self-reported data to track companies' progress towards equitable inclusion. And I believe most of our tobacco comes from the British American Tobacco. Altria advertises a granular list of diversity targets, including for AAPI women, and in 2020 the company's corporate responsibility report addressed the pandemic within the pandemic caused by systemic racism. Systemic racism is coming from the left, most of it. There are people who are racists, but, generally they're just arseholes. So the report did not mention that smoking, like COVID-19, disproportionately kills black Americans. What's this? The PEANs to DIA underscore how tobacco could exploit ESG to become a more palatable asset, profiting off the progressivism that has swept through C-suites and corporate boards. Most ESG funds exclude tobacco from their portfolios due to its harmful health effects, but cigarette makers are hoping to change that. Philip Morris International CEO Jacek Olczak told the Financial Times in May that some ESG asset managers had asked his company, which sold over 600 billion cigarettes that year, for one-on-one meetings, signalling a possible rapprochement with tobacco. Oh my goodness, why do people put words in that I can't say? I don't even know what it... Oh, okay, that diente is largely due to the risk of smoke-free products, the rise of smoke-free products, which now account for a third of Philip Morris's international revenue. But critics say the ESG movement and the progressive marketing it encourages have also played a role in legitimising the cigarette industry. Tobacco company ESG reports tend to deceive their primary audience, investors, into thinking that tobacco companies can be sustainable. The tobacco watchdog Stop wrote in an issue brief last year, they reckon they can be sustainable. ESG reporting lets tobacco companies promote their corporate social responsibility, CSR initiatives, like DEI, while obscuring the significant health, economic and environmental damage they cause. Some rating systems even encourage cigarette makers to market their products to marginalised groups. Altria has perfect score on the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, which lets companies earn points by advertising to the Alphabet customers. In California, tobacco kills almost as many gay and bisexual men as AIDS, and the alphabet youth nationwide are over twice as likely to smoke as their straight counterparts, and transgender adults smoke at 3 times the rate of the general public. Altria said in a statement that it does not do targeted advertisement to the alphabet community and that it has earned its perfect score through other initiatives. Philip Morris International did not respond to a request for comment. While the ESG's juggernaut is relatively new, tobacco's corporate progressivism is not. When Philip Morris began advertising in gay periodicals in the 1990s, it dismissed critics of the move as bigots opposed to inclusion. I'm not kidding. By the early 2000s, the company was using corporate social responsibility, the precursor to ESG, as a prophylaxis against lawsuits, according to a memo from Philip Morris's then General Counsel Steve Parrish. That will reduce the risks of lawsuits and improve our standing when we are sued as a responsible corporation. Parrish wrote to company executives in the memo, otherwise we will stand out as a target. Elon Musk wrote great thread on how ESG is used as a moral cloak to hide bad behaviour and any cause that makes its virtue unquestionable will immediately be adopted by unvirtuous. And is there more from this? Yes, there is. Wow, ESG ratings may serve a similar purpose today. By performing well on them, tobacco companies can placate regulators and investors who think the smoke-free future, as Philip Morris International calls it, is taking too long to materialise. A bad ESG score announces to the world you are a troglodyte, said Todd Henderson, a professor of law and economics at the University of Chicago. That could be an invitation for socially conscious shareholders to seek board seats or oust a CEO. BlackRock, State Street and Vanguard joined forces in 2021 to oust 3 ExxonMobil board directors who were out of step with the investors' climate priorities. All 3 firms owned sizable stakes in cigarette companies, giving them a considerable amount of proxy votes. Tobacco's talk about social justice, Henderson said, may be a ploy to avoid Exxon's fate. All this feeds into a larger critique that the ESG movement turns investors and rating agencies into de facto philosopher kings, weighing different and sometimes incommensurable values against each other. You have to measure the goodness of women on corporate boards and compare it to the badness of killing people, Henderson said. That's really a question for Plato. The clash of values, he added, is one reason ESG scores vary significantly from across different rating agencies, which means companies like Altria can usually find at least one good number to show investors. And it explains how even an electric car company can wind up with the short end of the stick, to which Chevron, long a target for climate activists, edged out Tesla in the S&P's latest ESG ratings. It earned a lower environmental score than the automaker, but scored over twice as high as Musk's company on social issues, where the oil titan has flexed its marketing muscle. Chevron's 2022 sustainability report boasts that the first woman offshore platform engineer in Israel was employed by our operations. Oh dear God. Well, I'm trying to give up, so hopefully I win. Well, I will win, it's just a matter of time. Greg Price said, reporter, what would the administration say to parents who are worried that their daughters may have to compete against a male and worried about their daughter's safety? Jean-Pierre, what you're alluding to is that the alphabet kids are dangerous. This is a dangerous thing to say. Listen to this garbage.
What would the president say to parents out there who have daughters, let's say in high school, for example, who are worried that their daughter may have to compete against a male, a person born male, and there could be directly in physical athletic competition and worry about their daughter's safety?
So look, what you're alluding to is basically saying that transgender kids are dangerous. It sounds like that's what you're saying. Well, you're saying that their safety is at risk. Yeah, but you're laying out a broad example or explanation of what could potentially happen. A broad example explanation that is dangerous.
I've got a challenge for Jean here, whatever her name is. Okay. How about she go and fight a male wrestler or something and see how well she does? Not like a male to female, sorry. A male saying he's female, okay? I'd like to see her go and one-on-one with one of them. Or play any sport against them. See how she does.
Dangerous. That is a dangerous thing to say. That essentially transgender kids we're talking about are dangerous.
Well, also, if you think about, okay, a male to female, okay, if the hormones, they're going to get peed off. They do get angry. They do. It makes them angry. Oh no, what did I just like there? Oh yeah. Did I like the right bloody thing? Okay. If I've liked the wrong thing, just please forgive me. Wall Street Journal opinion said the Presidential Record Act allows the President to decide what records to return and what records to keep at the end of his presidency. And the National Archives and Records Administration can't do anything about it. So NARA, who's trying to claim they can do anything, no, they can't. And by the way, Biden was not the president when he took records, and neither was Hillary. She was the Secretary of State. So, hello? Going after the wrong people there. Lara Logan said, is this the end of Ron DeSantis? Laura Loomer said, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was nowhere to be seen today outside the courthouse in Miami, Florida, where President Trump was being arraigned. Vivek Ramaswamy was the only GOP candidate for president who showed up to publicly take a stand against weaponized government. Ron DeSantis should be ashamed of himself. He's an absentee governor. This is happening in Florida and he's dropped the ball. There you go. Royce White said, you're proud of this? Get out of here. These people are so lost. I could 3D print a topographical map back to sanity and it wouldn't matter one bit. They've chosen stupidity intentionally. F off. We're not following you. If you don't like the profanity, F you too. Cuckery. Okay?
Proud of Sister Roma and her work in the community, and I'm proud of California for standing strong to support LGBTQ people as our community is under assault in the rest of the country.
Sister Roma went on to say it's an incredible honor to have been nominated. She says being recognized not only means a lot to her, but the LGBTQ community at large.
Proud of Sister Roma and her.
Is that one of those, what were they? That group I was talking about the other week, the Catholic nuns or something? Sisters of Perpetual something or other? It seems that way to me. It might be part of that. Stu Peters said Canadian residents saw a giant plume like a mushroom cloud when the Canadian wildfires began. Organic fires do not have a damn mushroom cloud. Not only that, I don't know if I bookmarked it, but I've seen the skies in Canada compared to the skies in the USA. And they said it was smoke coming from Canada. Canada was quite clear. Other than the... Okay?
That's a forest fire. Passing by to the south of the homestead here. It's burning down in that direction somewhere, southwest. That's where it's burning. Suddenly came up in a giant plume today, just for no apparent reason whatsoever. Suddenly there was a giant plume of smoke. You know, that's not how fires start, eh? Like, if someone throws a cigarette, you know, there'll be a little fire and then you'll see the smoke and then smoke will rise and people will go and look. A giant plume, like a mushroom cloud. Like someone set off a nuke. Like that's what it looked like. It was that big. I mean, people are lighting fires, folks. Canada is burning because someone is deliberately lighting fires, and that's a fact. That's just a fact. You know, it poured rain in eastern Canada this spring. As a farmer, I watch the weather. So it poured rain in eastern Canada all spring. Now suddenly it's burning down. Complete nonsense. You know, and the media always says, "Whoa, well, you know, it's human error. It's just human error." It's human error, all right. You could attribute some of these things to human error. But somebody's lighting these fires. It's either ideologists who think they can, you know, change the world by getting rid of things they don't like, for instance, the oil patch. Yeah, they want us all in 15-minute cities, so burn down the oil patch. They tried to burn down Fort McMurray. That didn't work. It's time for people to wake up and realize that this land belongs to us, the people, living men and women. This is ours. It belongs to us. Those who would assume authority over us don't own this land. It isn't theirs. It belongs to the people, living men and women. It was given to us, the land. When you live in a place like this, everything you have comes from the land. So those who live there, that land must be theirs. Just saying, folks, if you aren't going to fight for your land, if you aren't going to fight for the earth which provides you every bit of your sustenance and everything you need to survive here, you're done. You're done for. Don't know what to tell you. Time to wake up.
And I would be, actually, if I was in Canada, I'd be trying to search what the army is doing and also, yeah, see if some of them are climate extremists. That seems to be the pattern that we've come across here in Australia. Don LaCrae said on May the 2nd, 2018, acclaimed chef and Emmy Award-winning actor Anthony Bourdain posted a tweet that claimed Hillary Clinton was a Satanist that eats children and puppies. Bourdain passed away from apparent suicide 1 month later on June the 8th, 2018. This was his tweet. Let's assume for purposes of discussion that HRC is Satan's consort and eats children and puppies whenever possible. In what way is Mikey Cohen, the president's fixer, not a problem? Interesting, isn't it? Then he committed suicide right after that. He was Arkan-sided, or Clinton-sided. Illuminati bot Unabomber Ted Kaczynski revealed as CIA MKUltra experiment. What do you know? I think you're going to find out that most of these people are. Jim Ferguson said WEF orders US government to forcibly seize farms by 2025 and burn millions of cattle. The People's Voice, by the People's Voice. A new WEF fascist order is rising. They've infiltrated our governments and our borders, destroying the independent farms, seized control of the food, which we know. The White Rabbit podcast said how to steal Australia, poison the vast amount of Aboriginal people with mRNA, then pass laws handing all land back to the Aboriginals, and in their absence, hand it over to the UN to protect it for the climate, of course. Ian Pretty said Canada is contemplating murdering people when they turn 85. Let that sink in. Oh no, really? Well, let's hope they don't do that in Australia. My mum and dad are 87. But I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll be following right along beside you guys. Don't worry. Fever Fry said apparently arson is now the result of climate change. Media blames climate change for Canadian wildfires despite arrest of multiple arsonists. These arsonists have an agenda, and it's to get you to believe in this thing here. Okay, Jennifer Thetford Kay said California moves to provide surrogates to gay male couples in the name of fertility equality. Because women are apparently just a reproductive commodity now. Dove Star said, wow, the rental use of poor women's bodies and baby trafficking will now be a right for some men. Great. That's all you need. Okay. You can't just buy a person. Oh, but hang on. Yeah, you can now. My God. They only pick and choose when they want to be, when they want to protect a certain group of people. Is that it? Oh, Sam Smith said, isn't that sort of state-sponsored prostitution? D.D. Denslow said, Pfizer has funneled a whopping $12 million into the bank account of CNN host Anderson Cooper as part of a deal to promote the company's mRNA jabs to the American public. $12 million. Pfizer paid them all off. They sold their souls. I'm not even going to read their stupid fact checks anymore. A bloke in pub said Tucker Carlson suggests Barack Obama is a homo. Yep, well, hello, Michelle, Michael, whoever it is. I've done that one twice, haven't I? Jack Pozo said they're losing it that he posted this. Ready?
Money can buy you almost anything. It can't buy you immortality. That you have to earn. I'm gonna look you in the eyes, and I'm gonna tell you the future. It's an American story, and that's why Americans are gonna love it. People are gonna build you up. God, are they going to? Because when you're great and new, we love you. Man, we'll build you into something that doesn't even exist. You're gonna change the fucking world. But you know what? Once they've built you as high as they possibly can, they're gonna tear you back down. It's the most predictable pattern. We build you into something that doesn't exist, and that means you have to try to be that thing. All day, every day. That's how it works. And we do it again, and again, and again. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna be attacked, betrayed, exposed, and humiliated. And you'll survive that. A lot of people can climb that mountain. It's the way down that breaks them. Because that's the moment when you are truly alone. And what will you do then? Can you summon the will to fight on through all the pain and rise again? That will be the defining question of your life. And I think you already know the answer. And that's why we're all here. A shoe is just a shoe. Until somebody steps into it. Then it has meaning. The rest of us just want a chance to touch that greatness. And we need you in these shoes, not so you have meaning in your life, but so that we have meaning in ours. Everyone will be forgotten as soon as our time here is up. Except for you. You're gonna be remembered forever. Because some things are eternal. And your story is gonna make us fight and never give up.
That is a beautiful thing to see. Ah, wow. Nearly brought tears to my eyes. But anyway, the Cooker King said Victoria Police in a real mess. Lots didn't agree with what they did during COVID. What they had to do, sorry. 18 months training being squeezed into 2 months. 800 on work cover with a small percentage physically injured. Huge number wanting to leave or already have. No support at all. Great work, Patton and Andrews. So the police who did all that really bad stuff in... A lot of them didn't agree with what they had to do. Okay, the police. They had 18 months squeezed into 2 months. 800 of them are on work cover now, with some a small percent physically injured. Huge amounts of them are wanting to leave, already have, and they don't have any support from the Andrews government, so they were used and dumped. That's exactly it. Okay, David Wolf said Department of Defence employee admits the Canadian fires were a cover story. They had planned to shut New York City down for 2 weeks to drive the climate change narrative. Okay, let's have a listen.
Okay, guys, so I'm at the gym this morning, sitting in the sauna. I hear this girl talking about how she left New York. And of all people, I'm like, of course. I'm like, why? What's going on? Oh, what do you do for work? She works for the Department of Defense. So, okay, you know your girl's like, okay, tell me all the things. So when all of this went down with the fires up in Canada, she was told about this actually days and days before it happened. And she left New York because supposedly this was supposed to shut down the city for 2 weeks. They didn't want to make it too out of control, but at the same time, they wanted to make an impact so we can blame it on climate change and then, of course, go towards like the digital currency, the 15-minute cities. And at the end of the day, she's like, it's all about overpopulation, which we already knew. By the way, I thought it was funny too. She mentioned she didn't take the you-know-what and that she said the only one that is going to fix this is Trump. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below.
I work for the government, so I kind of...
What do you do? You said you had clients and stuff yesterday?
Yeah, listen, I have seen some and I'm going to be honest with you, this just... we knew the city was going to close down.
New York, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew New York was going to get closed down way before it was announced to the public. That's why I was able to get out of New York.
Wow. So they knew about it beforehand. That's why I said you might want to look at the military as well and what have they been doing. Constitutional Gator said in light of Pride Month, let's not forget about these two evil monsters. They adopted 2 boys and basically used them as slaves, creating videos of stuff you never want to see with the little boys and also allowing men to do things to them that you never want to hear about. Both of these kids' lives have been completely destroyed by members of the alphabet community. Little faces are blurred out. And apparently Elmer Fudd said Johnny Depp ends up in the boot club. Interesting sight considering all the dark Hollywood secrets about to be exposed. Oh, what do you know? He's got a boot on. Is there a tracker underneath that thing? Interesting. The little starstruck social media groupie that I retweeted here blocked me. I think he realised the comments here took a life he did not like. I did not direct the narrative, I merely asked a question, provided the pic with context for my question. Not a fan of Amber at all. Okay, Sophia Dahl said Yuval Noah Harari, in the Soviet Union, the KGB couldn't follow you 24 hours a day. They didn't have enough agents. But now with AI and smartphones and cameras and microphones, you can literally follow everybody 24 hours a day. So that's what our phones, everything's doing to us. Great. Like we didn't know that anyway. Okay, and there was a fatal Hunter Valley bus crash back on the 12th of June, 5 days ago here in Australia. I don't know, I should have checked on what's happening here. The driver of the fatal Hunter Valley charter bus crash was taken back to Cessnock Police Station for mandatory testing. He's been arrested and charged. But I heard that he had mandatory testing and it came up negative, so I don't know. Okay, and obviously YouTube have deleted Candace Owens' YouTube channel. And I think I'm going to leave it there for now and just read your comments, guys. Okay, where am I? Bring this thing over here. No. Over here. Goodness me. Okay. So what do you guys think of all this? Oh, the chat just jumped. Okay, let's see how far back we can go. Okay. Okay, how are you going? Xenotron. Who else have we got in here? Damn it, Mandy, how you going? JJ Willow, how you going? Okay. Senatron said not possible unless it happened at birth. No wonder people are traumatised, but rest assured Tavistock came up with a story and picture for use, explain the experience. Oh, MJ, what? I can't go back any further to see what you were talking about. Alex said, is that on YouTube, MJ? MJ said, yes, Alex, it goes deep, 10 hours long, but they say Cabbage Patch Kids related. And Xenotron said, MJ, this world has become a very sick place. Alex said, that's kind of funny, damn it, Mandy. Damn it, Mandy said, yes, cancel the debt and cut them a check. What the F, get jobs. Yeah. Xenotron said, why the F do they come here and bring their shortly world with them? Who cares? Oh, shitty world. Slums everywhere now. Yeah. I'm noticing that too. Not nice. Alex said, I was going to say it's nearly 10-hour video about Jesus. MJ looks like an interesting channel. I'll check it out. And then everyone's saying hello. Elena said, you can't pay debt with debt. Mm-hmm. And Xenotron said, does anyone care about America? I do. Oh, okay. Alex has put it in there. For anyone else who wants to check out mine unveiled. Okay, where are we? Shannon said, courage, JJ. Damn it, Mandy said, I don't even feel a tiny bit bad for them. Hire someone that can get a strategic financial plan going or shut the fuck up. I actually said it. I didn't mean to say that, guys. Sorry. Oh, by the way, my mum, I've been at my mum's all week. She can't walk without help. She's in bed most of the time. She's sleeping most of the time. And we have moved her from her house to my daughter's house. So my dad's now alone, but he was getting a bit cranky with my mum anyway. So, but he's now alone, staying at the house, and my mum is with my daughter. So, and I was staying there all week until we moved her yesterday. And it went to last night. I got home late last night, so... but she seems to be doing all right. I don't know. She had 2 falls last week, and she ended up with 2 black eyes and bruises all over her, and we ended up taking her to the doctors. They've done, they're doing scans on her to see if she's broken anything, and it's pretty sad because you're watching someone go down quickly, and it's yeah, it's frustrating, and you feel a bit helpless because you can't do anything. So, okay, Zena said, hello, are Pakistan's problems, internal problems, our fault? Big effing deal, everyone's in the same boat. They have spread the love through immigration. MJ said, misery everywhere, equal opportunity misery, exactly. George said, what happened to our human rights during the lockdowns? They showed us that they will take our human rights anytime they feel like it. Or they'll try. It's up to us to say no. Xenotron said, gonna tie my hands up, I'm being too vocal. Sorry, everyone. No, you're right, Xenotron. We probably all feel the same way. Sick of it. Had it. Shannon said, did you see that helicopter flying around starting the fires? Oh, yes, at the beginning of, in 2020. Yes, I saw that then. I don't know if there's now new ones, Shannon, but yeah, I saw it back then. Darren said, Pakistan's problems are due to their own policies like harbouring Taliban and such. Alex said, yeah, they're trying to break us all in our own countries. JJ said, since Ukraine doesn't give the boom that the nasty people wanted, they're now looking to start trouble elsewhere like Pakistan. Sherry said, Canada Fire's really doing a number on our air in US, so hard to breathe today. Yes, but I don't know if you noticed the guy that was in Canada, and around him it was, you probably smell it, but it was reasonably clear. Well, the photos of New York being all red, and it just didn't make sense. I don't know, it might to some people, but to me it didn't. Shannon said they didn't clear out dead undergrowth. Yeah, they won't let us here in Australia go and clear out our undergrowth in winter so that we don't have fires in summer, and a lot of people have fireplaces and could do that. And it's not cutting down new trees, because you can't burn green trees. They don't burn as well as you need them to cure for 2 or 3 years to dry out, so you can burn them properly in the fireplace. MJ said deliberately lit, definitely. Dammit Mandy said never doubt that the government can F with the weather, make a snowball and put a lighter to it, it won't melt, it'll turn black. Shannon said everything be that looked at the laptop, everybody that looked at the laptop from hell is dead. Most of the police officers. Sherry said, I think that's where all those chemicals went. Could be, Sherry. Darren said Canada fires are man-made, that's the man-made part of climate change. Yep. Xenotron said, well, it is climate change, ideological climate, social climate that causes people to go, and like bushfires, that changes the physical climate. And George said, lock 'em up. Shannon said, everyone that, yep. MJ said only 15% I call BS, yeah. Xenotron said, bad batch, my behind. Shannon said they're saying masks don't stop smoke particles, hence proving they don't work because virus is smaller than smoke. Yes, exactly. It goes straight through. Oh dear. MJ said Xena 100%. Xenotron said, oh, plan, did the machines making the vials malfunction? Yeah, no, it would have been them for sure. Joyce said, why does the alphabet weirdos get a month of celebration? Yeah, and why do veterans only get 1 day? They went and fought for the country. Why do the alphabet community deserve a month? Serious. Okay, Deb said, or is the vax targeting blood type? Oh, interesting, Deb. JJ said, everyone I know that have taken the shots are very slow now and don't think things through. Yeah, well, my mum's gone downhill really quickly. I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but she's gone downhill so quickly. Well, everyone is expecting, like, the call or, you know, some kind of news that, hey, she's gone. That's pretty much what where we're at right now. So excuse me if my mind is not on the job right now. I'm trying. Okay. MJ said PCR tits bad as mofo too. Xenotron said, was it the people making batches lie a special recipe in some chocolate, vanilla or strawberry? Why did they change for saline? Thieves? Alex said, it's out of control, George. Xena said, don't let them dazzle you with numbers, they're obfuscating. Shannon said, Aussie pure blood, no jab, no mask, never sick. Oh, my stomach, here we go. MJ said, everybody please put a guess in for percentage what you think. I'm curious. Xenotron said, Shannon, same. JJ said, sorry, Dr. Peter, but people died on the first batch too. It was just not reported. Darren said, what a load of BS. If so many batches were contaminated, the company would be shut down. Oh, that depends. Dammit Mandy said, sorry, MFers forced people to get that jab or lose their jobs, and then the left was telling everyone that didn't want it they were killers for not getting it. Biatches, yeah, exactly. Yeah, people tried to shame me into wearing a mask and doing certain things, saying, oh, don't you think about your parents? And I'm like, yeah, I'm bloody worried about them because they went and got one. The person did not understand what was going on. They believed everything the news was telling them. Alex said, exactly, proving it was all BS, Shannon. I'm so glad I never followed any of it, but then I've never followed the crowd, yep. Oh, my stomach. That was loud. Darren said, the killers are the pushers. Alex said, I've always been an outsider and I'm glad. Yeah, me too. JJ said, I'm guessing 1/3 dead that took the jabs. I'm guessing many more than that sick or disabled will die soon. Yeah, that's right, George. They want most of us dead. And JJ said, just my guess. Darren said, why is a company allowed to shut down your house? Because they own the smartness of a smart house. So if you've got your smart house and you run everything off Amazon or Google or, you know, those Alexa things, okay? Just wait and see what happens. And God help you if there's a fire and you're trapped inside your house, because the whole thing will lock down. It will not let you out. That's the whole thing, Darren. They're going from the government being able to tell you what to do to companies being able to tell you what to do. Xanatron said, good question, Darren. MJ said, I think it's higher than 15%, but slow kill because some are damaged but will take longer. Alex said, same, but UK, Shannon. JJ said, why are people so dumb to use smart house stuff? I don't know. I really don't know. But it makes me think about our smartphones as well. Darren said, simple electric cars are not ethical. Xenotron said, it isn't like there were enough sick people in the world without the added burden of a pandemic. Shannon said, just wait for the electric truck scam. Oh yeah, nothing will be delivered. Dammit Mandy said, my best friend has always had long hair, went for a trim and the lady cut it all off. But since she got the jab, her hair has grown an inch. People are being affected in different ways. Wow. Yeah, electric cars will kill the oceans. Well, I did mine during the lockdown. It's growing back pretty quick. So it's getting there. It's at a weird stage, my hair. But yeah, bad move to cut all your hair off. Seriously. JJ said, MJ said, JJ, they buy smart water too? Oh no. George said, the world has become a big scam. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Alex said, I think the penny is slowly dropping for those that got electric vehicles. I think it costs more than fuel to run them now. Darren said it's possible that many will die a few decades early due to the jibby. Yep. Alex said, I think diesel is £1.46 per litre at the moment. Ours is around $2 per litre. Shannon said they want to take away gas and wood stoves because they can control electric. Yeah, they can turn it off. That's why you don't let them. Control. George said, I'm jab free. Dammit Mandy said, I fill my non-electric car up and I can drive 600 miles before I have to push out of gas. I'll never get rid of it. Yeah. Shannon said $1.77 per litre there. Wow. That's pretty good, Shannon. Darren said, with the cost of electricity, you're right, Alex, and they are looking to tax all vehicles by the mile. Dammit Mandy said $3 a gallon. Okay, so how many gallons? Was it 3 or 4 litres in a gallon? So you're paying $3 a gallon there. We would be paying at least $6 a gallon, if not more. That's based on 3 litres being a gallon. If it's 4, then we're paying $8 a gallon here. Alex said, same, damn it, Mandy. George said, I don't drive, I have legs, lol. Where I live, you kind of need a car. Well, I mean, you probably don't, but no, you kind of do, because we're really far away from even the shop, the local shop. Darren said, this Aaron guy sounds like a reformed smoker. Yeah. But we even smokers know that it's poison. Pretty much. Slowly poisoning ourselves to death. Darren said, oh, yep, I read that one. Dammit Mandy said, George, nothing wrong with the Leather Express. Shannon said, what's a gallon? Isn't that a measurement of juice and milk? Shannon said, and hats. Dammit Mandy said, it's the United States measurement. Yeah. We go by litres here. Yeah, it's all different. So you go by Fahrenheit, we go by Celsius and temperatures and... Alex said, that's cheap, Shannon. My £1.46 is $2.73 Australian dollars. There you go. Damn it, Mandy said about 4 litres in a gallon. Okay, there you go. At $2 a litre, it is $8 a gallon. MJ said North Carolina was 2.982, Florida 3.17, Virginia gas was 3.16, road trip 3.19, South Carolina road trip. Oh, wow. Xanatron said, can I ask the chat, I have 2 ticks on me but no tweezers. Am I in trouble? Isn't there a way to suffocate ticks, like with the alcohol or something, like a rubbing alcohol on a cotton bud and just hold it on them and then they can't breathe and they fall off? I don't know. Maybe have a look online, see if I'm right. I'm sure it was alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, like, you know, the stuff you use for cuts and things. George said, I prefer walking, Mandy. Darren said, Alex, that's per litre. A gallon is about 4.5 times that. MJ said, credit card, library card, flick it hard. Shannon said, I know, I was just cracking jokes. Damn it, Mandy said, our farmers are being paid not to farm. It's insane. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of growing my own, trying to grow my own food. Hey, my shallots, my shallots and my garlic had disappeared over summer, right? I thought the turkey had dug it up and that. It's starting to grow through the mess of my garden. As the tomatoes are dying, the shallots and garlic seem to be sprouting. MJ said, Zena, try it or Vaseline, smother them. Alex said, I wish diesel was 95p a litre. Damn it, Mandy said, I'm currently watching a man running a fireworks stand light a cigarette. Oh, no. Xenotron said, oh, okay, I think I might have damaged it because it's all red and hard. Tiki Doll said, rubbing alcohol will make a tick back at... There you go. Same thing I just said. Make sure you smother the cotton ball in alcohol and place it and hold it there so that the thing, or wherever it is, you know, so that the tick can't breathe, it suffocates. Xenotron said, I couldn't see properly and I thought it was like a pimple or something. Oh, no. Xenotron said, since then I discovered a second one. Yeah, as far as I know, like rubbing alcohol, you can use that. Any type of antiseptic alcohol. MJ said, Mandy, get ready to film it if it goes away. Tiki Doll said, hi everyone. How you going, Tiki Doll? Shannon said, free advertising, lol. Hey, King Sturgle. Hi, everyone was busy writing a summer report and just listening. Xenotron said, well, try the credit card as I don't have anything else. What about vinegar? I don't know. MJ said, away, damn spell check. George said, hi, Tiki Doll. King Sturgle said, how is everyone? Back at work full time now. Shannon said, good job, King, except it's not summer. Not here, it's not. It is over there, but it's not here. George said, hi, King's Noble. Alex said, fuel should never be that expensive. All these conglomerates have been scamming everyone for years. The same as food. The food hasn't gotten any more expensive. The companies are just putting the food prices up. Darren said, it's summer in a few days. Xantron said, what's all the buzz, King? King said, I'm getting back to full-time field operations very soon now. I love what I'm best at. Going to be a lot of fun. Shannon said, what's all the buzz, y'all? Did I say it right? George said, felt like summer for the last week or so in the UK, Darren. Damn it, Mandy's laughing. Damn it, Mandy said, haven't heard that word in years. Xenotron said, felt like winter here is Australia, George, lols. Darren said, yes, it has, George, glorious weather here. Hey, Facts Over Feelings, how you going? King Snuggle said, I'm going to be the don't want to say oldest, most mature active FO in British history. Oh, and I did kind of, when I could, I found a new channel on YouTube this week, and it's called Miss Mango Butt. She actually reads novels, not on video, but she reads a novel and she'll give you a summary of what that novel is. And she's doing mysteries and murders, and I watched one that was really interesting. And it was 4 people stranded in the snow. What was it called? Hang on. I'll tell you in a minute. Where is she? She's a South Korean lady. Where is it? Oh, I've got to go back further. Hang on. View them all. Snowed in with 4 strangers. One of them is a murderer. One is a trafficker. Can you work out who? It's called Baking a Mystery. They're not real life crime stories, but she reads like a novel and then explains the whole thing in great detail, mind you. It's quite interesting. And that was an interesting novel she read. Snowed in with 4 strangers. It's really good. Anyway. Just something I found this week while I was trying to take my mind off things, and when Mum was in bed and I knew she was all right, and then so I'd go into a lounge room, lay on the lounge and just watch the phone for a little bit until I heard a move, and then I'd have to jump up, run in and say, what do you need, Mum? Or do you need me to help you out, you know? Do you need me to walk with you? Where do you want to go? Shannon said, on the plus side, if you have a bad day, you can say I'm too old for this shit, King. King Snowball said, was supposed to be, I love it. Xanatron said, what is field operations, King? MJ said, King seasoned is preferred. You are seasoned. King Snowball said, I'm going to get a lot of time travelling very soon. Alex said, welcome back, King. Darren said, ploughing is a field operation. Everyone's saying hello. And Alex said, oh, should I say welcome forward, King? Zena said, I hope you can write an awesome story one day, King. Shannon said, if you're time travelling, just come back before you left. Can you take video of it and show us? And everyone's still saying hello. Facts Over Feelings said, worst press secretary ever. Xenotron said, has anyone noticed how sometimes Jean is really dark and sometimes the skin's very creamy, coffee coloured? I haven't noticed, to be honest. I'll have to keep an eye out, Xenotron, see if I notice that. Oh, I think my tea is starting to boil on that candle. Something was making a noise and I'm thinking, what is it? Yep, it's my tea. Darren said, King, if you go back in time, can you mail me a copy of the lottery results? MJ said, she always looked like her eyes were rolling in the back of her head. Her eyeshadow is dangerous. Yeah, girl, not a look. Xenotron said, I think she's synthetic. Really? And Xenotron said, her makeup never changes. Does anyone think she might be an AI? No, surely not. I don't know. I don't know. These days, who knows? King Snurgle said, good news is my back that has been killing me all the time since the car crash in 2019. Finally got the chiropractic work I needed doing and NHS don't do. Wow. Xenotron, MJ said, Zany, yes, you're on it. George said, good to hear, King. Shannon said, just because it has a top secret sticker on it doesn't mean that it hasn't been declassified. It just means they haven't changed the sticker yet. King Snurgle said, Darren, not something that is something within my skill set, I'm afraid, but I would be surprised if they are messing with it somewhere. Yep, facts over feelings, given the little vomity faces. I understand that, believe me. Shannon said, snow, blueberry demon. MJ said, oh, I can't. I just can't. Alex said, my mum used to be like Hillary and I told her ages ago about stuff she's done. I used to like her, sorry, not be like her, used to like her. And I told her ages ago about stuff she's done, and we were watching something about Trump the other day, and I said he could go to prison, and she said Hillary should too. Yep. George said send in the clowns. King Snurgle said everything I was talking about before that our old farts thought they could mess about over months and months is now finally dealt with. Fax said MJ, me neither. King Snurgle said went exactly as I was arguing it would. Was the only one saying it. Alex said I was thinking, yes, Mum, so glad she realises now. Not all the way there yet, but family are awake to convid, baby steps for everything else, yeah. So that's what I mean. Everything at the moment is exposure, and the storm is coming, and I believe Trump's Trump speaking the other day, I caught the live. There was a lot in there. I didn't get to write anything down. I should have, but I didn't get to. So that I do believe it's coming. Shannon said, yes, I saw a helicopter lighting the fires. King Snow said, just enjoyed being present when some of the most powerful old men in our country with global reach had to admit they were totally barking up the wrong tree. Alex said, I saw a radar picture of Canada and all the fires started at once from what I was seeing, possibly from directed weapons, which we know they use. Yep, so it could come from many different, many different places. Like here in Australia, we had the army doing it, and it started on an army base because they were exploding unexploded ordnances during the height of summer. What a smart idea. As if you couldn't tell them, you know. Do it in winter when there's much less risk. George said, wow, Shannon. Alex said, amen that, man. The land belongs to us. Shannon said, I saw the footage. It's on Space Shot 78 show. Okay, cool. George said, yeah, Alex said, these elite scum have stolen it all. George said, this man is speaking the truth. Definitely, that Canadian guy, definitely. King Snurgle said, I'll be going full boots on the ground within the next 4 or 5 weeks. Everything before that's going to be nothing but prep. After that. Shannon said, you don't get kuru by not eating human brains. George said, evil runs the world at the moment. Shannon said, kill the cattle and eat the bugs. Alex said, I was half joking a few weeks ago about getting some woodland, but I've spoken to more people about it, including my parents, and maybe more feasible than I thought. Yeah, my dad actually said to me the other day, what happens if I sell the house? So things might be moving in a certain, I don't know how it's going to happen or if it will happen, but I think my dad realises he's not doing the best either. He's following Mum. King Snowball said, I'm not going to be able to have any real contact with the internet other than very odd sneaked on somewhere far from where I'm operating whenever I have the chance to. Shannon said, Cole. Deb said, 9:45 a.m. Adelaide, still not moist. MJ said, Alex, do it. Shannon said, same here. King Snowball said, it's been an absolute blast and pure pleasure to have shared my time with you all on here. Can't emphasise that enough, guys. You too, King. MJ said, King, back at ya. George said, murdering people when they reach 85. Wow, I'm sure I see something like that in a movie. Yeah, that's sick. King Snuggle said, MJ, I was run into while stationary at a crossing in March 2019. It was pretty bad. Xenotron said, so the women dress like they under Sharia and fight for the gays, ultimate ideological confusion. Yeah. Darren said, of course Obama's homosexual. You know, married a guy. King Snowball said, should have had treatment starting the very first week. COVID shut everything down. King Snowball said, so it was cancelled. Shannon said, duh, we have all seen how he eats hot dogs and catches random balls thrown in his direction. King Snowball said, only reason I had time to be on here so much. MJ said, hard to keep good men down ever, King. King said, I was technically disabled and on rest. The outfit hung it over my head all that time. that if I went back to work, I'd get whatever was needed. Funny thing is, just recently, it had almost healed itself. MJ said, Tucker, we know, duh. King Snurgle said, since 2019, I've been in the kind of agony I wouldn't want to wish on anyone's worst enemy. Xena said, inspired. King Snurgle said, so this room really helped me take my mind off it. Alex said, Big Mike, Darren. King Snurgle said, I would have never gone back active before now, not even to get the free world-class treatment. Don't do blackmail from anyone. Darren said, that's why Obama was a good speaker. He always had Mike in his hand. King Snurgle said, but I've known everything about all this shit has come out way recently for a very long time. King Snurgle said, convict planning since 1865, the fake war and fake nuclear threat, that was a fear porn job. Alex said, the human body is an amazing healing machine if people let it. King Snurgle. Shannon said, population is in decline, overpopulation is a lie, maybe cities are overpopulated. Well, that's why we've got cities. To shove as many people into as possible, and then people will believe in overpopulation, because I think everywhere's like where they are, when it's not. That's why people should be spread out more. And that's why I keep saying that I think cities are going to fail. I really do. MJ said, Darren, Dan, that was a good one. King Snurgle said, Ukraine was always going to be an Israeli land grab. He said, Putin's in on it. All a charade. Alex said, I don't trust any of them, only God. Flyby Stew said, brainwashed. King Snurgle said, it was always the fake alien invasion coming. I was waiting for it to happen, that I knew I just had to be involved in. King Snurgle said there was a kidnap attempt on me when I was 8 years old by those bastards, being cleared out now. Oh, where'd that go? Okay, the chat jumped. Quite a bit. Okay, hang on. How far back was I? Okay, I'm just going to have to read from where I am. Deb said, do you remember when Ash Wednesday was happening? Everything was an orange-reddish haze. It really affected everyone. I remember how odd it felt. It had long-lasting effects on people. Darren said, Alex, that's the only thing I don't agree with you about. There had to be something. King Snowball said, as is travelling huge impossible distance through a medium we know next to nothing about. Alex said, hence why NASA lost How to Get Back to the Moon. Oh, I wish I could have gone back to read those comments. Alex said, what do you mean, Darren? Darren said, impossible to forget everything about how to get to the moon. That means we never got there. Alex said, I believe the Bible and I believe there is loads missing from it hidden by the Vatican. Darren said, I still believe in the universe. Alex, the earth is a ball. King Snowball said, Shannon, when I was 8, the first Cortinas by Ford hit the road. Alex said, oh, you used to have a Ford Cortina here in Australia. My dad had one. A station wagon, a Ford Cortina station wagon. It was as slow as a wet week, but it was good. We went on lots of trips in that car. Alex said, oh, I see, yeah, I don't think we went to the moon. King Snowball said some cars on the road still had starting handles. Darren said the Bible holds the truth, but not everything is literal. Yep, Shannon, I got you. Cortina. George said there is a lot of history hidden from us. King Snowball said, Darren, we know nothing about the universe. Alex said, I think they're even slowly coming clean about that now, as too many people are questioning it. King Snowball said, stars aren't what we are told. So-called planets do, but we get told absolute shite about what they actually are. MJ said T minus RE NASA, but someone also said T minus for plane. T-plane, that resonated big time. Darren said, King, the only thing I know about about the universe is that it inspires imagination. Deb said, a family member has cancer and because she will not take the jab, they will not give her any Oh. Well, Deb, you're really sorry, but you probably don't want the radio and chemo that they would have given them. See if you can go to the doctor and get ivermectin. They're allowed to prescribe it here in Australia now. Just ask. Just say they have, and just give her that. And start taking vitamins with it, like vitamin D, zinc, C, that kind of thing. See if that would work. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. Not giving anyone advice. Alex said, I don't think so either. I think it has been mixed and messed with, but when you have a relationship with God, things click into place. King Snurgle said, Darren, particularly the imagination by the clowns at NASA when they come up with all their crap to feed us. George said, that is evil, Deb. Flyby Stew said, apparently there's 11 different dimensions, and according to my info, if you vibrate at the same frequency, you can experience different dimensions. Why do you think magic mushrooms are banned? Darren said, Deb, they should all have their medical qualifications taken away. Captain Whippersnapper, how you going, Captain Whippersnapper? Said, nothing smart about those smart homes. Thanks, Hev. No worries, Captain Whippersnapper. Xenotron said, like I keep saying, it's corporations have taken over governments through business contracts that we did not agree to. This is why we cannot do anything. We are not shareholders. Xenotron said, but they just forgot to tell us of the changes. King Snowball said, Flyby, there will be almost infinite dimensions as this place will connect to many, as will the next, and so on. Alex said, it's possibly a ball, but not moving the way they say it does. I think it's stationary and probably goes inside under the earth too, if that makes sense, Darren. King Snuggle said, the reps live underground, that is for sure. As for hollow earth stuff, seriously doubt it. Xenotron said, the ancients say we live in the back of a giant turtle, probably inside a barnacle with a lid. Deb said they told her she has 18 months to 2 years and she has little kids too. Deb, I'd seriously get her to go and try and get the ivermectin. Ask the doctor. And then start taking all vitamins with it. Darren said 1 gallon of petrol is £6.60. Xena said swimming in an immense ocean. Alex said, I'm sure I saw something ages ago that said they had found an old chariot cart wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea, which would correlate with Moses, Darren. Tiki Doll said 3.78 litres equals 1 gallon. Got gas today for $3.39 a gallon. Wow. King Snurgle said, but an open mind ready to change its thoughts and absolutely anything it already thinks about something if new info comes along is the most important thing anyone can possess. Yep, well that's it. That's what we're waiting for. My thinking is pretty fluid if I get evidence of things. Alex said, I think the truth is only going to come out more and more. Captain Whippersnapper said, that's great, Xenotron. I can smell something cooking and it's making my mouth water. Someone's cooking something out there. Ooh. Captain Whippersnapper said, that's great, Xenotron. And King Snowball said, Alex, after this next reset. Xenotron said, the system is layers of density and pressure and we just happen to exist in a less dense layer than what lives in the ocean, which is the true space, I think, now. King Snowball said everything will be unrecognisable afterwards. Darren said, I don't doubt it, Alex. The Bible hints at so much history that's been rewritten to fool us. King Snurgle said, and I genuinely believe all of this. Alex says, Snopes says that's false, but who believes Snopes? King Snurgle said, just preparing everything for that. King Snurgle said, I really do believe the existence of evil and everything involved in it is busy being swept away. Oh, definitely there is evil. George said, who is Snopes? They were a fact-checking site run by a couple who had questionable things going on. I'll just say that. King Snurgle said, I think the next go round to live in a place without evil is the very goal itself. God promised it. God keeps his promises. Alex said, fact checkers, George O'Brien. Alex said, God always keeps his promises, which is why I can't wait. King Snurgle said, haven't got an accurate and confirmed timescale yet, but I do know this for sure. George said, okay, Alex. King Snurgle said, in 6 years' time at the latest, whoever is still here. Captain Whippersnapper said, much agreed, let faith keep your hearts strong always. King Snurgle said, is going to experience the most unbelievable thing ever experienced by our race. George said, facts, that goes against humanity. King Snurgle said, whoops, that was 8 years, was just wrong, key hit. Flyby Stew said, Snurgle, tunnels and ancient civilization disappeared, but think about it, all platforms are censored, so who knows what is the true reality. If it's what I think it is, it's better than what we got, period. Yep, it's going to be, once this is all sorted out, life will be bloody good. Alex said, he said there will never be another flood. The next reset is fire, but I don't think it will affect his children. We've had ours here in Australia about 4 years ago. I don't know if we're going to cop it again. Hopefully not. And Deb's put a little monkey in there, and King Snurgle said, so after this Tuesday I'm back at it. And Shannon's put 2 monkeys in there, and King Snurgle said, get moved from this horrible 3-bedroom semi I've always hated living in. Flyby Stew said, King Snurgle, what's why? King Snurgle said, my wife is getting set up somewhere safe and I will get looked after for however long there is left. Darren said, King, Viagra gets rid of semis. Shannon. Oh no, that was Darren. Darren. Oh my God, sorry Shannon. I'm blaming you for everything now. King Snurgle said, that is, I'd love to be able to say my first great satisfaction, but I'm not going to lie. Shannon said, maybe swap it for an 18-wheel semi. There you go, there was Shannon. MJ said, I knew that was... ... Deb said, hey Whipper. Xenotron said, Alex, do you think fire might be the plasma strike? Xenotron said, the finger of God giving the world a poke. Captain Whippersnapper said, hi there Deb, hope you're doing well. Xenotron said, oh, perhaps a king hit. King Snurgle said, being out doing whatever needs doing to help clear up these lizard pretenders, they're definitely done for. George said, a plasma strike from the sun is a good possibility, Xena. Alex said, it could be like one of those energy balls out, but on a massive scale. King Snurgle said, just what comes along with everything after that. MJ said, Xena, did you get Kitty yet? Kitty, I missed some shows. And Deb's put up pancakes, bacon and eggs. Oh, yum. Alex said, if you're grounded, it should bounce off theoretically. Xenotron said, but I think of it charged with righteousness and it will only be drawn the evil ones. Shannon said, baked beans and spaghetti. Oh, you're mentioning food now. I'm getting hungry. King Snurgle said, I'm still about, which is very highly doubtful. I'm sure whatever comes after will be much less traumatic. Xena said, the good humans will pass over or through without harm. King Snurgle said, then it will just be waiting time for everyone else still about. Xenotron said, and it will change us forever electrically. Captain Whippersnapper said, there are designer babies. CRISPR tech is cheap now. Yeah. Xenotron said, and will vibrate on a higher level as a matter of course. King Snurgle said, because that big event I talked about in a podcast Hev put out, which most missed. King Snurgle said, still is going to happen because that one was always inevitable at some point in time. Darren said, that's possible, Xena, after all. Our thoughts are electrical and chemical impulses. 10:22 in Adelaide. Cup of tea or coffee and a cake. Flyby Stew said, you've all heard the main man say nothing can stop what's coming. Where we go on, we go all. At Darren, Zena said, at Darren, just think that it has to be that way. They told us how it will be, they know, but ingenious enough to cleverly disguise it with all kinds of fables that are similar at the root. Zena said it's up to us to clarify out the facts from the past with current understanding. Captain Whippersnapper said, stay strong, Hev. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's jumped again. Okay, where am I? Alex said, I don't think they should work at all. Plenty of volunteers in our own towns, cities that would take the role for free and do 100 times better job. King Snowball said, my talking was mostly me refusing to not at least let some know. I'm like that. Xenotron said, I meant I did not take a wage apart from a stipend. King Snowball said, stubborn. Xenotron said, good idea, Alex, game over. That sucks when the chat jumps, because I can't go back to what you guys were saying. I want to... Alex said, roll, they may also want feeding. Captain Whippersnapper said, hi there, Alex, sorry I missed your message. Flyby Stew said, for fuck's sake. Alex said, no worries, good to see you, Captain Whippersnapper. Captain Whippersnapper said, much love sent your way, Hev. Oh, God love you. And everyone's saying hello to Captain Whippersnapper. Whippersnapper, not Whippersnipper. Darren said, yes, Alex, they must be starving. They didn't get a slice of Boris's cake. Flyby Stew said, Whippersnapper, do you know Happy Napper? Captain Whippersnapper said, hi there, George. Nice to hear from you. Alex said, not sure I'd want a slice of his cake either. King Snowball said, one thing I promise you all. Everything I've said was happening did, and everything I've told you is coming. Deb said, 10:35 a.m. Adelaide, and it's very moist, is it? Wow. George said, Boris Johnson and the Tories are a joke. Flyby said, get your wellies on, Deb. King Snowball said, you're all going to see one day you'll remember this chat and say, wow, I was told about this at Hev's place. Alex said, I saw Boris running in an actual suit shirt the other day on the news. Suit, shirt and shorts. Darren said, if the Tories are a joke, then how come we aren't laughing? Deb said, it's looking like I will have to put my wellies. We will have to clean up for inspection. Oh, good luck, Deb. Sorry, guys. George said, yeah, Alex, I've seen him running in a shirt and shorts and a few times. I can still smell something cooking. I hope it's nothing burning. No, it's not coming from inside. I think it's coming from outside. Maybe someone's having a barbecue for lunch. That's what it smells like. And my mouth's watering. Okay. Alex said, good point, Darren. Shannon said, very moist now. What you up to, Deb? Starchild said, I love my neighbours, but I'm not sure letting them move in. House Guest from Hell, remember the movie? Oh, yes, Madhouse, wasn't it? With Kirstie Alley and... Can't remember who he was. Can't remember. Dan Aykroyd? No. I can't remember. But anyway, Kirstie Alley was in it. It's called Madhouse. I'm sure that's what it was. Unless there's another movie called House Guest from Hell. Deb said they're expecting the hottest weather we had ever. Shannon said defamation. Darren said, got you in trouble, Shannon. Oh, it jumped again. No. Okay, I think I'm right. Yep, I'm right where I was. Alex said he's a complete weirdo, George. Have you seen the family picture of the Borises? Like something out of a horror? Oh, no. Is it like the Munsters or something? Deb said, Shannon. Darren said, they say that every year, Deb. Flyby Stew said, Deb, how long do you think they've been messing with weather? Oh, I think a long time. George O'Brien said, no, not seen the photo, Alex. Alex said, they're creepy and they're spooky, the Boris family. Darren said, warmest years I remember was the 70s. The 80s was like nuclear winter, then it started getting better again in the 90s. Alex said, see if you can click the link, Hev, to show everyone the picture of the creepy Boris family. Okay, hang on. I have to move this. And then click that. Oh. There you go. The Boris family. Audie. Okay. I don't think this picture's much better, but anyway. Deb said, all we need now is a song. George said, did Boris have another child or has he got his missus pregnant again? Sanatron said, oh yes, Daisy is so cute. She is addicted to somersaults. Shannon said, all we need is love. Xanatron said, and chasing her tail, my arms are covered in scratches. Jumped again. Oh no, I found it. Alex said, not more of them. Surely Boris has enough children, he's like a bloody rabbit. And Deb said, all we need is love. Do, 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 do. Darren said, Alex, Boris can't keep his Johnson in his pants. Darren said, long red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Alex said, far left is Boris in the picture. Zena said, Boris, let Roger do the work. Darren said, Boris is far left. Zena said, work? Flyby Stew said, Darren, and laughing. Shannon said, all we hear is radio gaga, radio goo goo. Shannon said, video killed the radio star. I remember that song. Video killed the radio star. And it had like a machine type of voice nearly. Video killed the radio star. In my mind and in my car. Something, something, we've gone too far. Yeah, we've gone too far, way too far. Alex said, maybe check that chicken coop. They hate that though when you can smell nice cooking and hungry. Yes, I am really hungry and all I can smell is someone's barbecue, I'm sure of it. I haven't even gone to check the chickens the last day because I didn't get home till late last night and I didn't want to disturb them. So I've got to go out and check for the eggs today and check on the chickens and make sure they're cool. George said, might be a bit drunk and stoned, but can still say red lorry, yellow lorry fast, lol. Zena said, Hev, that's a good name if you ever had a new channel, Hev's Place, or maybe for your cooking gardening segments. Yeah, Hev's Place. Oh, it's really making me hungry. Darn it. Flyby Stew said, Shannon, there's nothing new under the sun, remember? Xenotron said, Hev's Place. Alex said, yeah, looks like he's holding his wrinkle. Winky. Oh, what the? Darren says, sounds fishy, Xena. Shannon said, Hev's house in the middle of our street. My house. Oh, no, it's our house, isn't it? Our house in the middle of our street. Our house. That's the place we used to meet. David said, Lord George takes experience to do that, eh? King Snowball said, I have to go pretty soon. Got a lot of writing to do before Tuesday. Won't get any sleep. Alex said, all our PMs have wrong names. Carl said, don't let me down. Bruce. Zena said, yeah, can work with variations. Flyby said, DB. Take. King Snowball said, so before I do, this is for you, Alex, with a heart. Alex said, they're messing with us. Shannon said, okay, I've got her to sing. Shannon has to happen at least once every stream, said Xena. Deb said, good job, Shannon. Alex said, I hope it all goes well, King Snurgle. King Snurgle said, thanks for the true affection you've always shown to everybody that ever visits Hev's Place on here. It's inspirational, so thanks, Alex. Just keep on keeping on being you. For Hev. Oh, God love ya. MJ said, Turkey? Yeah, he's still around. He's getting a bit big for his boots, that one, too. Shannon said, I need some chocolate. Flyby Stew said, wow, and just wow. King Snurgle said, I always keep my promises. That video evidence of a shapeshifter changing on the phone if it gets taken on itself. If necessary, we'll make sure arrives with you. Alex said, bless you, King. Deb said, stay safe, King. Davis said, may your inkwell never run dry, King. And King said, if I have to sneak a message to Alex to arrange an address you want it delivered to? Zeta said, they still play that on the radio. Are they still bitter after all these years? Possibly. Should I find a song to sing to you? Just give me a sec. Where am I? I'd have to listen to it to be able to say. We don't need no education. Imagine the music, right? We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, you're just another prick in the wall. All in all, you're just another prick in the wall. Oh dear. Shannon said, wrap it up, Hev. And Shannon's got the Statue of Liberty. Deb said, God, love and blessings to Hev and the Hev family. King Snowgle said, you must promise to never show it to anyone, but if channels still exist. MJ said, bossy. Oh, I remember a song, Bossy. This chick used to sing it back in the, early 2000s? I don't know, but there was a I remember a song called that. You'll be able to tell everyone you got. They will know what you mean. Davis said the government killed pirate radio in the 60s, even though they were broadcasting from international waters. We got Radio 1 instead. Deb said, now sing along. Deb's got see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And Flyby Stew said, good on Hev, 100%. Yeah, it's teachers. Leave them kids alone. All in all, you're all just pricks in the wall. Sorry, I changed the B to a P. Hey, Ruff, how you going? Shannon said, Lil, I have become comfortably numb. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Okay. And Deb said, I am too sexy for this song. Too sexy for this song. So sexy, it's wrong. Anyway, guys, with all that really bad singing now, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go and get something to eat because I'm starving. But hey, I'll be back. Okay, I won't be back tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. I need a rest from the whole week. Monday I am, hang on, I'm elder sitting and toddler sitting on Monday. So I'm going to babysit my mum and the little one. And I'll be back on Tuesday if you don't see me tomorrow sometime. How's that? Sound good? Okay, guys. Much love to you all, and I shall see you soon, hopefully. Okay, where's my outro? I'll find it somewhere. Okay. There we go. Bye, guys.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. Bye, guys. Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.